The Senate just passed the third stimulus bill. As you can see from the title, today I'm going to be talking about a topic that's on everyone's mind, especially since it's dominating the news cycle. And that is the third stimulus bill that was just passed by the Senate. Now it will go to the House for another vote and then on to the President's desk for signature. Hey everyone, it's Prashant here. Welcome to my YouTube channel and thank you for joining me in today's video. Let's dive right in. Since the pandemic started spreading around the world in early 2020, governments across the world started imposing lockdowns in order to protect the public health. Although the lockdowns have been instrumental in saving people's lives by curbing the spread of the virus, at the same time, these lockdowns have had significant economic impacts on people. Although a lot of people were able to transition to working partially or completely from home with little or no loss in income, unfortunately, that is not true for a lot of people. In fact, the current unemployment rate in the US, as reported by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is 6%, with some estimates being as high as 10%. The last time the unemployment rate was 6% was back in 2014, and 10% was back in 2010 after the mortgage crisis. In order to help people get through these difficult times, Congress has passed two stimulus packages so far. The first one, called the CARES Act, was passed in March of 2020. Most notably, the CARES Act included direct payments of $1,200 to Americans making less than $75,000 a year. On top of that, the act also included unemployment assistance, Paycheck Protection Program loans to struggling businesses, federal student loan payment pauses, mortgage forbearances, and eviction freezes, among other things. The second stimulus package was tucked within the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2021, which was passed in December 2020. This included direct checks of $600 to Americans making less than $75,000 a year, in addition to more PPP loans, as well as a further extension to the pause in federal student loan payments. In addition to these stimulus packages, several executive actions were also taken by Presidents Trump and Biden to provide more relief, including extension of mortgage forbearances, eviction freezes, as well as the pause on the payments on federal student loans. All this stimulus activity brings us to March of 2021, when Congress is working on the third stimulus package. So let's talk about this stimulus package right after you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Guys, this helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm and motivates me to keep making these videos. Now let's get back to it. Alright, the bill currently in Congress is called the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. As of the date of me recording this video, March 6th of 2021, this bill has been passed by the House and an amended version of the bill was passed by the Senate this morning. In fact, overnight from March 5th to 6th, the Senate was in session debating and voting on a bunch of amendments, and now it looks like a third stimulus bill might finally be in sight. It's possible that by the time I upload this video, this bill gets voted through the House and also gets signed by President Biden and becomes law. I'm going to go ahead and put a link to the House bill in the description below if you wanted to read the 600 pages for yourself. Now, here are 5 very important things that are included in the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Number 1, direct payments. If you're an individual making less than $75,000 per year, you will get a direct payment of $1,400. If you're a married couple filing taxes jointly and making less than $150,000 a year, you will get a stimulus payment of $2,800. If you're a head of household making less than $112,500, then you will also get a check of $1,400. On top of this, you will get $1,400 for each eligible dependent as well. Now, the stimulus check amount starts phasing out if you're making any more than the threshold numbers that I just spoke, phasing out completely at $80,000 for individuals, $160,000 for married couples filing jointly, and $120,000 for heads of households. Number 2, unemployment assistance. Currently, federal unemployment assistance that was passed under the CARES Act ends on March 14th, just a few days from now. This act extends the federal unemployment benefits of $300 per week all the way through September. Also, the first $10,200 of unemployment assistance will be tax-free. Number 3, food assistance. Under the SNAP program, eligible people will see a 15% increase in benefits extended through the end of September 2021, up from the current deadline of June of 2021. Number 4, housing. This bill allocates in excess of $19 billion to be available through the year 2027 to help renters with housing expenses, such as rent, current and outstanding, utility bills, and any other housing costs, with the caveat that no individual would get assistance for longer than 1.5 years. This bill also sets aside $10 billion available for use through 2025 for homeowners' expenses. These expenses can include mortgage payments, utility bills, taxes, or any other housing costs. Number 5, child tax credit. People making up to $75,000 as individuals, $150,000 as married couples, and $112,500 for heads of household will be able to claim a higher child tax credit. For children under the age of 18, this child tax credit will be $3,000, and for each child under the age of 6, it will be $3,600. For people making more than these income limits, the value of the benefit will go down $50 for each $1,000 that they make over the income thresholds. On top of these 5 things that I just talked about, there are more provisions in the Act to help people out, including lower health insurance premium under the Affordable Care Act policies, more money for the Paycheck Protection Programs, as well as grants specifically for restaurants and bars. On top of all this, the House version of this bill included a provision to raise the minimum wage in the US to $15 an hour over the next few years. However, this provision is not included in the amended Senate version of the bill. Overall, the cost of this bill is expected to be about $1.9 trillion. This is on top of the $2.2 trillion CARES Act, as well as the $900 billion of stimulus spending tucked within the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2021. If passed, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 will bring the total of American stimulus spending to a whopping $5 trillion. Obviously, some, if not all of this money will come from deficit spending, which will ultimately raise the national debt. While there has been some concerns among experts that all of this extra spending will cause inflation, so far we have not seen any signs pointing explicitly to that. In addition to that, Secretary of the Treasury Janet Yellen and Chair of the Federal Reserve Jerome Powell seem to agree that it is better to do more than to do less, in order to try and avoid a long, painful recession and an agonizingly slow recovery. It seems as though the lessons learned after the mortgage crisis of 2008 are being implemented here in order to try and keep the economy going and aim for a speedy recovery. Even though over the last couple of weeks we have seen some concerns about rising inflation, and Fed Chair Jerome Powell even said that he anticipates some temporary inflation in the market, ultimately, I don't think this is something that will stop this bill from being signed into law. With vaccination rates rising and infection rates falling, it seems as though we're finally rounding the curve after an entire year of lockdowns, quarantines, and staying home. My hope is that we are soon able to all leave our homes and participate fully in the economy and get things going. In the meantime, I hope Congress passes the stimulus package and the government works together to steer the country out of this crisis. That's all I have for you guys in today's video. Tell me what you think. Is Congress approaching stimulus the right way? Let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions about the stimulus package, leave them down in the comments and I will respond to you. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. This helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm and helps my channel grow. I post at least one new video every week with great new financial content, and I would love to see you back here. Go ahead and hit the bell icon to be notified instantly when I post a new video. Also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I will leave those handles in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.